So I want to share a verse from the book of the Second Timothy, which is chapter 1, verse 7, which says, "For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind." And I want to share because today I was literally at the mall and just overthinking scenarios in my head. I was creating anxiety, I was creating worries, I was creating things that were not true. And I saw a video that said God sends us good thoughts, positive thoughts, joyful thoughts, thoughts of the most powerful, loving thoughts. So when you fear, that is a spirit that is coming from something that is not godly. So when we have that spirit of fear, we start overthinking, we create our self abuse in the head, and then that abuse turns into bringing up past traumas, and those traumas reopen doors to certain things that we closed in our life. And I just remember this verse in my head, and I said, why am I feeling this fear? Why am I feeling it? Because I kept creating anxiety, I kept creating worries, I kept creating scenarios that were not true. And it's real because God gives us power, love, and a sound mind. Power to give us strength, give us courage, and a sound mind, give us clarity, give us the path to the goodness of God. Love. When we love, we learn to just accept that manic, panic, and chaos is not love, and hate. So if there's any of that, it's the spirit of fear, it's the spirit of hate, it's the spirit of harm. Because when God gives us authority to be real, to be peaceful, to be joyful, and to have grace and mercy in our life, we sometimes overthink that and start saying, is it from God? Is it just us overthinking? And sometimes that's where you just like close your eyes, call God the Holy Spirit, and just be so discerned and positive, and know that God is always with us, because the Holy Spirit is just a feeling that you can only feel through prayer, through calling God and Jesus. And I had to remember this verse. I was like, fear is a spirit and it's not from God. You know, when you try to remain calm, you're like, I know this is all not godly, this is all anxieties, I'm just overthinking, but your mind is just so cluttered and chaotic, and it just keeps redoing scenarios that are not true, that are not real. And then you're just causing yourself anger, you're causing yourself anxiety, you're just causing yourself sadness, fear, all that is not godly. And even if you remind yourself that God is here, you just are fighting the enemy and God. Like, it's truly the flesh and spirit against each other. And one thing that stops